How to raise an expense request on the employee portal. Log into your portal and click on Expenses from the main menu. On the resultant page, click on the green tab Add Expense to raise an expense request. Select the tab labeled Employee Expense to continue. If this is not an Imprest expense, do not switch on the toggle to make this an Imprest expense. Proceed to fill in the form as prompted. If you are repositioning for funds to facilitate the payment, do not tick the checkbox Expense has been paid. However, if the funds are already issued and you're only accounting for spend, tick the checkbox. Proceed to fill in the rest of the details. Once done, click on Continue. Click on Add Category to link the expense to a category. To attach a receipt, click on Attach Receipt to Category. Please note, you can add more than one receipt to a category. To add another receipt, click on Add Category. Once done, click on Confirm. To add another category, click on Add Category. To proceed, click on Continue. Here, you'll be required to add a payment method. Once done, continue. Once submitted, the approver will be notified to approve, and the expense will be displayed under Employee Expense under the status Pending. Once the expense has been approved, the status will change to Not Paid. Once paid, the status will change to Paid. If the expense has been disapproved, the status will change to Disapproved. To filter the records by different statuses, click on the filter option to your left and select the status you want to view. To remove the filters, click on Reset Filters. Please note, you can delete or edit an expense prior to approval. To delete an expense, click on the three dots at far right and select the Delete option. To edit, click on Expense Details and select Edit. To raise an Imprest expense, click on the tab labeled Imprest Expense and proceed to click on the green tab at the far right labeled Add Expense. Here, click on the tab Employee Expense and continue. Proceed to fill in the details as prompted. Since this is an Imprest expense, switch on the toggle to make it an Imprest expense. Proceed to fill in the rest of the details. If the funds are already issued and you're only accounting for spend, check the box labeled Expense has been paid. Once you've filled in the details, click on Continue. Here, choose the payment method and continue. Once submitted, the expense will be displayed under Imprest Expense under the status Pending, and the approver will be notified to approve it. Once the request has been approved and paid, the status will change to Open, and you can proceed to account for spend. To do so, click on the three dots at the far right of the record and select Expense Details. Here, click on Receipts and proceed to Manage Spend. Proceed to select Category and attach a receipt as prompted. Please note, you can add more receipts by clicking on Add Category. Confirm once done. Once you've accounted for all your spend, proceed to click on Request Verification. You'll be required to put in a reason for closing expense. The approver will be notified to verify your expense, and once verified, the status will change to Close. In the event of an overspend or an underspend, the approver will be notified to take a payroll action in the form of a reimbursement or a deduction.